All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Good to see everybody. We are wrapping up the end of this semester tomorrow, right? It's here before you know it. So I'm going to push one more time. If you haven't looked at Skyward recently, you've got to take a look at that today. Make sure you're happy with all of your grades. Obviously, a few weeks ago when we first started talking about that, that would have been the prime time to kind of start doing things and reaching out to teachers and things like that for questions or whatever you have to do. If you haven't done that, you still got a day, right? We still got 36 hours or so. Please make sure that you get on top of that today and try to do whatever you can do to put yourself in a good spot for the end of the semester. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and show you what you got on your plate for this week and for next week. So for this week, let me see if I can get this a little bit. Okay. For this week is your test, right? If you haven't started looking at that yet, you're gonna have about 40 minutes of this class once we wrap up here in a few minutes. So you really got to get on top of that. I just want to encourage people, don't just jump into the test if you haven't seen this material in a while, especially 3.1 and the early stuff. Maybe go back and review that stuff. Make sure you have your notes out. I've already told you before, make sure you're using Desmos if you need to graph something. And when you graph it, you can look at the x-intercepts, right? Use all these things that are available to you right now. The solutions manual is right here. So this is basically the answer key, all the steps, all the solutions to the review that's right here. My video tutorial is also just me walking through the review. This review is at the end of Unit 3 in your book. So if you don't want to access it here, you're more than welcome to just open your book up. But it's just, this right here is just a snapshot of all those pages. And it's basically just a little bit of a concept summary, a small example, and then just a handful of problems, 3 to 5 problems, I would guess, on average, from each section, just to kind of jog your memory. If you need more than that, don't forget, you can always go back to these individual sections and you can do some of these extra practice problems. If you didn't do any of the original practice problems, I'd encourage you to go back and do that. Of course, you've got the video tutorial in each section as well that you can access. And then the test right here, it's due Friday, February 5th by 11:59 p.m. That's the end of the semester, so make sure you knock that out by then. For next week, I'm going to go ahead and I have to switch over to the next course, right? Like our Canvas semester 2 course. So what you should have available to you right now, because I published the class, or at least I think I did everything correctly, is your Algebra 2 S2 semester 2 course. So you should have that available to you somewhere on your dashboard. If you click dashboard on the left, it should be there somewhere. And then starting next week, that's what we're going to access. And then just to emphasize what semester 2 is going to look like as far as the page, the only thing I'm going to have here that was the same as semester 1 is just the Zoom link. Not, just mainly because I use that. I just open up the Canvas class and click on it, and that's how I join our link. So that's the only thing I'm transferring over to semester 2. The semester 1 stuff will still be open. So if you need to access, the syllabus or, any of those scheduling things that are posted in there, you can always go back and do that. But the Zoom link is in semester 2, and you could see that it kicks off with the next lesson. After this week, this is our test week. Next week, we start Unit 4. And you might be thinking, did you screw up, Chapman? I didn't. We are skipping 4.1 and 4.2. There's a lot of adjusting happening with just, the environment we're in and things like that. So we're skipping some things. And this is an example of where we're going to kind of take our time with these next 2 lessons, 4.3 and 4.4. What I'm going to do with 4.3, and I'm going to announce this next week when we actually talk about it, is this is 4.3. This lesson is going to basically take us 2 weeks. I'm still going to have this set up as 1 week because I do want you to go through these practice problems. I do want you to watch my tutorial video if you need help, complete these assignments. So this is technically still going to be due on the 14th, Valentine's Day. But then the next week, when I build this next module, we're just going to basically be reviewing this week, because the amount of material that they have in this week, I think we need more practice with that skill. So the week after this, we're basically going to be still doing this same skill, multiplying and dividing rational expressions. But I'll be uploading worksheets or maybe building something in Canvas to practice it some more. So we'll essentially be on this skill for 2 weeks. So, but as always, the interactive textbook, this is where you can access Envision or see what pages we're on, the practice problems, what I'm expecting you to do each week. Even though this isn't being turned in, make sure you're practicing this stuff. You know, practice makes perfect. And if you just watch me do it, or you just read the book and figure out how to do it, that's not enough. You got to make sure you're practicing it and you're getting the correct answers. With that said, the practice problems, all those correct answers in this is in the solutions manual. So just access that and have that open while you're doing those practice problems. The extra practice, that's just if you want some extra practice, you can go in and do some extra problems just to make sure you're good to go. And then, like always, the vocab and concepts in the check-in are there and available to you. The video tutorial is up and running too as well. You know, keep that on your plate. If you're done with your tests, you feel free to kind of jump into this early, but if you're not, then focus on the test and make sure that gets done by tomorrow. All right, I'm going to let the late people in. Pause myself for any questions. I'll look at the chat box here in a second. While I'm waiting for questions to come in, please, please, please make sure you're using the next 39 minutes to kind of start digging through this material, looking at math, right? You know, dedicating it to math. Don't spend that time on other things, especially if you have a choice to do that. Spend the next 40 minutes on math. All right, I'm going to hang back and talk with people that have questions. If you're good to go, go ahead and get busy. I'm here for you. If you need me, just shoot me an email. I hope you have an awesome weekend, and we will see you Tuesday. Bye. Thanks, Sarah.
Mr. Chapman.
Yes, sir.
When are you grading the Unit 3 test?
I'll process it after the semester closes.
Okay.
So yeah, probably next week.
Okay.
Probably on Monday.
Okay.
Were you just talking about the Unit 3 test or something else?
The Unit 3 test.
Oh, okay. I already finished that, so.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, see you, Chris. Hey, Zach. Questions, buddy?
Yeah, so